Hello everybody, it's Randy on the Serenity talking about our favorite subject, the black water tanks. Alright, so we redid the piping to help alleviate the problems we've had, especially last summer with the forward tank. Real quick, the forward tank we think receives probably most of the solids because it's closer to the toilets, but it was the last one on the suction line, which putting those two factors together we think led to some of the blockage we had last year that basically cut our capacity to a third or 2/3 of what it should have been. So that, along with using the blue chemicals and one other suggestion I'm going to have here in a minute, I think will solve our problem. So here's the new tank, the new piping. I'm going to fix that little kink in the vent line here in a second. I'll figure out something else. I didn't realize it was going to when I tie wrap that off. So while we're here, this is the new location for the sight glass. I had to move it, but we had some problems trying to get piping dry and get it glued and not leaking, and I had to eliminate the port on the other side. But this is a good location for it. And so about when everything gets a third full, you'll start seeing it in the sight glass. And the elevation on the top of the sight glass is about even with the elevation at the top of the tank. So when the sight glass is full, you're full. The other nice thing is this new tank, I don't know how long it'll do that, but you can actually see the water level or stuff level in there. All right, so what we did is we rerouted the piping so that we put some valves in. So this is, we'll call this valve A. That valve is we added, and what that would do is if you're having trouble with that forward tank slugging full and not draining properly when you're sucking, you can slide that handle down. It's just like you'd have on an RV or a camper trailer or whatever. You slide that down, that closes that valve, and that isolates these two tanks. And if you then close this valve, valve B, which is the new valve for the new tank, you close that, the only thing you're sucking from then is that tank that we've had trouble with. So hopefully that'll solve the problem. So normal position, this valve is up, handle up, that means it's open, and this handle is running with the pipe, meaning it's open. If you need to close it, you turn that 90 degrees. It's a two-handed deal, but you turn it 90 degrees, and then that's closed when it's across perpendicular, the handle perpendicular with the piping. And of course, if that valve handle's down, it's closed. And it doesn't hurt every chance. Every once in a while, look in here and make sure the valves are in the right position. All right, normal position open. Problem with third tank or first tank, you close them. All right. The other suggestion I'm going to make is when you're at the pump out, I would, after you're all done pumping out, and you've kind of cycled it 2 or 3 times, I would let that water run for maybe 5 minutes. It seems like a lot of water, but at least until you see water in the bottom of this tank, just enough, maybe a ½ inch or an inch, if you can tell it's sloshing around in there. And that way we know the piping's got water in it, and the tanks have a little water in the bottom of it so they don't dry out and cake up. And the other thing is, after you're all done pumping out, take one of those bags of our new blue solution that we got, and I would flush it one down each toilet when you're all done cleaning up, just to kind of pre-charge the system. And then I would flush it 2 or 3 times to make sure that stuff gets into the tanks. And then I think we're going to solve our problem.